Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about, excuse me, The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi. There are major spoilers for Star Wars The Last Jedi in this content. So, specifically today I'm going to be talking about Luke's use of the lightsaber within Star Wars The Last Jedi, his overall view of lightsabers within Star Wars The Last Jedi. So Rey comes to Luke and she presents him with his lightsaber, which had been given to him by Obi-Wan Kenobi and which had been carried by Darth Vader, right? So and we are, I think Rey was expecting him to find importance in that, and we as the audience are expecting him to find importance in being given this artifact. And on the Jedi planet, he just chucks it over his shoulder like this is of no importance, right? And I just thought that was fascinating because really that's the very first start of this that we see in the film. And then as the film progresses, we determine why Luke has a very different opinion of lightsabers now, because there was this moment of weakness, this moment of doubt when he was training Ben Solo, when he saw this tremendous force power within Ben Solo, and he essentially hovered over him, considering killing him, and even going to the point of igniting the lightsaber, right? So he's over Ben Solo. Ben Solo wakes up, witnesses this moment of doubt, which Luke Skywalker was not going to act on that. He had already decided not to take action against Ben Solo. But he's witnessed by Ben Solo, and this prompts Ben Solo to fully act on the dark path that he has already started down, and to fully commit as a dark Jedi, right? And so this one moment, this one use of the lightsaber, even just holding the lightsaber, holding this weapon, had caused tremendous loss. The loss of students, both physically, to death, and then the loss of students to betrayal and down the dark side, had showed Luke that weapons are incredibly dangerous, even when they're not being actively used to kill someone. Like, even in a moment of just holding a lightsaber could cause incredible, loss, right? And so Luke comes out of it wiser and has, just this almost, he doesn't have any fear of lightsabers. He has respect for what actually just a full knowledge of what can actually happen if you have, one of these lightsabers. And so it's really quite fascinating, what Luke's opinion of lightsabers are. Now, at that point, also, one of the reasons why I love Star Wars: The Last Jedi, I believe that Star Wars: The Last Jedi is a 5 out of 5 star movie, and it's the best Star Wars movie that's ever been made. And the reason for that is it's the 8th installment of a blockbuster space opera, using everything that came before it to make itself great, a great film. And and so it's now in this territory where really I don't think there are any movies that can follow. They can try, but they're decades away from the success that Star Wars is now enjoying. So so basically Luke is in this new zone where now that he's set aside the lightsaber, okay, he has continued down the path of the Jedi, and one of the things he's done is he's gone into solitude and he's continued to work on his Force powers, and he's also read in depth the sacred texts, right? And so at this point we're looking at a Luke Skywalker where his powers are so tremendous and almost so just so great, right, that a lightsaber is a toy to him. It's limiting. It's just limiting, right? Because he has force projection. He has the ability to see into the future. He has, the ability, and I'm fairly certain that he has all the abilities that we've seen manifested. So he has, the ability to move objects with his mind. We're starting to get to, there's very few limitations to the force powers that he has. And so the idea of, I'm going to solve a problem by cutting it in half with this lightsaber the lightsaber is a tool of a Jedi Knight, but he is a Jedi Master. And I just love the idea that a Jedi Master is beyond the lightsaber, has really moved beyond the lightsaber. And I will say, so actually I'm going to talk about tabletop role-playing games for a moment here. So basically, I'm a huge tabletop role-playing game fan, and I really feel in some ways that Dungeons & Dragons is like the lightsaber, in that it's absolutely crucial to the... it is, basically, when you start as a game master, I really feel like you should start at Dungeons & Dragons. And you go into Dungeons & Dragons, and then you master it, right? You really need to master Dungeons & Dragons, because it is the root. It's what everything comes from, right? And I really do believe the lightsaber is absolutely essential to what it means to be a Jedi. And it is a crucial tool. It's absolutely crucial, a crucial tool for the training of Jedis, for the success of Jedis in their early years. And then it's left behind when you become a Jedi Master. And I have to say, I believe it's the same thing with Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is the greatest tabletop role-playing game ever made. And every game master should start with Dungeons & Dragons, truly know their game. And then they should spend a few years mastering it, and then they need to move beyond it. Because it is the gate through which we walk into tabletop role-playing games. But you don't linger at the gate. You move beyond it. And it isn't, there's no shame in moving beyond Dungeons & Dragons, right? I really feel like all the games, all the indie games, all these amazing indie games that are, and even regular mainstream games that are waiting there to be played and to be run, they all are created. The best of them are all created by people who have come up through Dungeons & Dragons exactly the way you have, or have respect for Dungeons & Dragons in a way that they're still rooted in that core game. So I was so in love with Last Jedi and what it said about the use of this Jedi weapon, and also I have to say, of course I related with Luke Skywalker quite a bit. I've been married for 25 years and I have 4 kids, so this ain't my first rodeo. And in the film, you're really looking at a man who has some decades on him and has acquired some wisdom and is now applying that wisdom the best you can, right? And then also, one of the things that I really love too, just seeing every time you see Luke, there's all this angst on his face, and he's trying so hard to make decisions. And so even when you've seen a lot of things and you have the knowledge that's necessary and the wisdom to make decisions, you still make those decisions with utter care and with just the most you proceed with caution. I think that's one of the things that we get that changes from youth, is that as we proceed with caution. So I just really I can't say enough about Last Jedi. I absolutely love this film. It's really wonderful, and I really liked what we learned about the lightsaber in this film, which, in summary, in my opinion, is the lightsaber is an absolute essential part of being a Jedi, and it is an absolute crucial tool for a Jedi Knight. But for a Jedi Master, it's a toy, and it's really unnecessary. Take care.